So let me say that I am not responsible if any of this happens while you're working on your truck. So do not try this at home. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today I thought it'd be kind of fun. You know, I get some comments on the channel about the front-facing camera that I have on the Tacoma back here. I'll show you guys. I had installed a front-facing camera right here. And there is a video, a few, up on the channel actually about that camera. I'll link one right up here showing the install. But anyway, people have asked, well, why do you need it? You don't need it. You should just know, how close you are to things when you pull up, even though you can't see. I always tell them that, you really are just taking a guess. You do that inch forward thing until you get to where you think you're good enough. And one of two things happens. Either you're right, which is most of the time, or you're wrong and you get a little bit of a tap. Nobody wants that. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go out, drive around to some different places, show you guys some different scenarios where I think you definitely need a front-facing camera on the front of the Tacoma back here. So let's go ahead and take off. What I've got here is a little setup. Let's say I'm going to install my new part, whatever it might be, on the Tacoma over here. And I had it all backed up, right, because I was going to go ahead and do what I need to do. Got our 10mm socket sitting right here. You guys can see right there. The 10mm socket, of course, is the holy grail of doing anything with your Toyota Tacoma. But while I'm getting ready to set up and work on this, I realize I don't have something. For instance, you see my ratchet is gone because I broke it last time I was using it. So I've got to run to the store. So in haste, I'm going to shut the garage door here and I'm going to run to the store and pick up a new ratchet. Now, this is what happens if you don't have a front-facing cam. All right, back at home, I cannot wait to get this thing set up. It's going to be freaking awesome. Oh, shit. All right, you can see right there, not a good thing. So now I'm going to show you what happens when you have a front-facing cam. Okay, you guys get the idea. Obviously, when I pulled into the garage, I was able to see the dreaded 10mm socket sitting in front of the truck and didn't run over it. Anyway, we're gonna move on to some more practical things as far as what the purpose or the uses of the front-facing camera on the Tacoma are. Okay, for this first little demonstration that I'm going to show you guys, I just happen to have two cars parked right next to each other. And I see this all the time. People trying to pull in between two cars, obstacles, whatever. And you can tell by how slow they're driving that they're not exactly sure how much room they have on each side. Because you can't see right over the front on each side, right? I mean, you can see the front, but you can't see right over the front as you get closer. So what we do is we'd whip on the front-facing camera, which you guys can now see right there, and we're going to pull forward. And you can see, per the lines and even each side of the truck, how close we are. Right? You can see right there that we're obviously clearing both vehicles. So the first example, I guess, is pulling in between two obstacles. You can actually see on both sides. Now, for the next one I'm going to show you, and this is where it's a little more practical, I guess, for daily use. And that would be like if you're pulling into a parking space, right? You're at the mall or at the grocery store or Lowe's, somewhere where you're pulling in, and when you get to a certain point, you can't see over the front of the truck. So I actually have my truck parked outside here, the Tundra, and we're going to pull up to that. And I'm going to show you how useful the camera is. So here we go. First of all, we're behind the Tundra right now. So we're going to pull up. And obviously it's not difficult until you get to about right here. Now, you can't see over the front of the truck, right? I mean, you know you're some distance away from it, but you really can't see how close you are. So if you whip on the front-facing camera, like so, you can see that you're a pretty good distance. And if you're really good with those lines, you can tell how close you are. So now I'm inching forward, obviously, and you can see where the front of the Tacoma is here. This is actually the license plate bracket. And then, of course, the back of the Tundra. And you can see how close you're getting. Now, I don't know why you'd want to be any closer than this. We're probably about a foot or so away. And that's probably closer than I would normally pull anyway. But it gives you an idea, and you don't have to rear end the back of that car or truck that's in front of you at the mall. I know I certainly wouldn't want to do that, and I certainly don't want to be the person that owns that Tacoma, or Tundra up there rather, and have you rear end me. Just another practical use. All right, now this next example is for all of you off-roaders out there. And this is one of the big benefits of having a front-facing camera. If you're an off-roader and you want to see what's in front of you, then definitely turning on the front-facing camera will allow you to do that. And I'm going to show you here as we venture into off-road territory. Let me go ahead and flick the camera on here for you. There you go. You can see where the road ends up here and where the off-roading begins right there. See that? Right there. Now we are off-road. Check that out. And you can obviously see what's in front of you here. I mean, some dangerous grass, maybe a little bit of mud over here, possibly a bump or two over here. So you can avoid those kind of things. Maybe even the corn up here in the front. But obviously, all kidding aside, if there was anything in front of you like, I don't know, deep ruts, rocks, anything that could damage the undercarriage of the truck, at least you would be prepared and ready to face that with a front-facing camera. So let's continue on to another hazard that I know we all experience. All right, we're about to pull into the next very hazardous area, and that's the parking lot. Here we go. Let me turn you around and I'll show you what we're going to pull up against here. Now, you guys can see that we have a barrier in front of us, and looking right there, there is no way you can see that barrier that's right here. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want a nice red stripe across the front of my license plate or bumper. So you can see as we pull up here, actually I'm gonna back up a little. All right, you ready? Let's pull up a little bit. You guys can see, we can tell how close we're getting to that barrier. We don't actually have to, and you can see again, you cannot see over the front of the truck. That isn't even there until you look at your front-facing camera. So obviously, there is value when you're pulling into something like this so that you don't run into something like that. All right, by chance, we've just come across an unusual hazard that obviously you wouldn't want to run into. It would get all tangled around under your truck. It could even be a live wire. I don't know, but if you guys look over here to the right, or the left rather, you can see we have wire in the road. Now, if you were pulling up to that, obviously you wouldn't want to run into that. It could be a live wire. Check that out. So now we have it on the front of the camera and we know how close we can get before we potentially run over that wire and do some serious damage. Okay, this next one is critical in my opinion. If you like to keep your truck clean and you don't want to run through anything on the road that can soil it, get it all dirty, then you've got to have this, because what we've got coming up right now in front of us is a seriously hazardous road condition, I guess, if you're concerned at all about the cleanliness of your truck. So let's go ahead and put you guys on the camera and let you guys see what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. Right there, you can see we're approaching it. We have to turn this corner, and what do you see right there? Check that out. A lake right in the middle of the road. Now, if you're concerned about keeping your vehicle clean, obviously you don't want to go tearing right through that. And what if, let's say, on the off chance, because it happens, that was a sinkhole? You don't want to go driving face first into that. At least with your camera, you can see that there is indeed a bottom here. And you're not going to nosedive into infinity if you go across that puddle. Just coming home out from a long day at the orifice, and pulling up to the garage because I need to have the rear end of my truck there out of the road. I need to get as close to the garage as possible, the garage door, and I don't want to hit it. So we're going to pull up, let you guys see right there. We're going to pull up to the door itself. There you go. You can see the door right in front of us there. And this enables me to get as close as I possibly can. You guys can see the distance here between the license plate bracket and the door, and how close I am looking off of the front of the truck. Now obviously, once again, I can't see down there. You can't see how close the front of the truck is to that door, but you certainly can there. Now, I don't know how many garage doors I've seen that have little dents in them. And no doubt, it's because somebody played the inching game and lost. You know, they were trying to get as close as they could to that garage door and didn't guess correctly. All right, now this next one is huge, huge. Let's say that I, for some reason, and I do have to do this quite often, I need to pull the Tacoma over on the other side of the garage, but I want to get it up out of the road, and I don't want to park it in the road, so I'm going to pull it up behind Krista's Jeep, my wife's Jeep. So let's put you back on the front-facing camera. There you go. And we're going to pull this thing up, and I have to get it up as far as I possibly can, obviously, so that I can keep it out of the street. So we're pulling up to the Jeep, and you guys can see, I can see how close I'm getting. Now, if things go bad here, it's going to be a problem. But you can see right there that I am pretty close to that Jeep. And once again, you can't tell how close I am looking over the front of the truck because you can't see down there. But you have a perfect view of the salamanders, or lizards in this case, and how close I am here to hitting her Jeep. So I have avoided a potential conflict here by having this front-facing camera in my Tacoma. In essence, you might say that I have enabled marital bliss to continue, because if I hit that Jeep, it's not going to be a good day. It's not going to be a good day. Okay, got one more final real-world application to show you guys, and that is pulling in the garage. For me particularly, it's a little bit of a tight fit in the garage. I do pull the truck up onto a lift every time I bring it in the garage, for the most part. So we're going to put the front-facing cam on, and I'll show you how useful it is when pulling into the garage. Okay, there you go. There are just a few uses, practical applications of having a front-facing camera on the Tacoma. Some serious, some not so serious, obviously. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, give you guys a little bit of a look as what the practical uses, and some not so much, of the front-facing camera on the Tacoma are. I love it. I think it's an awesome, awesome addition to the truck. Pretty simple mod. Pretty cheap too, costs about 150 bucks and about a day's worth of time. But anyway, it was awesome. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.